autograph line.
I cursed.
We both did. And then we looked over, they're like 2 little ladybugs. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
They were going to learn eventually.
They're recording a lot of like animal sounds.
That's what it was. It was terrifying. It's like a slaughterhouse on the other side.
But she like turns into a big goat for some reason. So they're like, can you give us attack sounds? Like, ha, yeah, ta. And I just went, nah.
Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Cristina Vee.
You're watching convention coverage.
Do you have a favorite and or least favorite thing about being a voice actor for kids cartoons versus adult cartoons?
I don't feel like it changes much for me, like who they're targeted for, but it does get very interesting in like my autograph lines or at panels when I'm like talking about Hell of a Boss and then a Ladybug fan is like 8 years old sitting down. You know, it could be a little tricky. We had a little faux pas today in the autograph line.
I cursed.
We both did. And then we looked over, they're like 2 little ladybugs. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
They were going to learn eventually.
Yeah, in like 20 years.
Listen, get them. No, never mind. No. Anyway, nice question.
Killua, kind of raised in an assassin's family, lacking empathy, but has this connection with Gwyn.
Yeah.
For you as an actress, having to be empathetic is part of the job and understanding where a character's coming from. How do you approach a character like Killua as a child, as someone who has trouble with empathy?
All I can do is be in the moment with him. Like, I didn't really think about like, oh, I need to relate to him because when I'm voicing him, it's like, oh, I'm Killua right now. Like, I just killed a man. And I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like he deserved it somehow. I don't know, but for that character in particular, there's just something, I think that's why he's so beloved, is because there's just something about him, you know. It's, even though he is an assassin and he does like actively murder people, you still love him because he's just doing him. I think that's what it is. He's just doing what he feels is right. Yeah. And he doesn't really have like an evil intent. He's just trying to get by, you know. I'm sorry, this is very awkward. But yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also, she generally lacks empathy, so I don't think she's reaching too deep.
Wow. This was a bad idea.
This was a great idea.
This was a terrible idea.
Y'all don't understand. I'm normally behind the curtain. This is a wonderful abuse of power. Hi.
I think it's pretty obvious in the series that Killua from Hunter x Hunter kind of like has a close-knit group with Gon and Leorio and Kurapika.
Yes.
Would you say that he still thinks of the Zodaks as his family? Oh. Or do you think that he kind of feels more of like a sense of brotherhood with Gon than he does like Illumi?
I feel like Killua is definitely, he gets something from his family from Gon, which he never got with his family, and I think that's like true like caring and like a gentleness and a softness that he doesn't get with his family. I feel like he probably feels loyalty to his family, but when it comes to love, I think he gets it from his new group of friends for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm a huge fan of Hunter x Hunter, and I wanted to ask you about the scene of the Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter, where Killua started crying and wailing. I wanted to ask you, how did you convey that emotion to that scene?
Oh, why are you laughing?
Because I hear you crying and wailing.
Wow. I'm very emotional. I think that's why I get those roles.
She's a Cancer.
I'm a Cancer Sun Scorpio rising. If you know what that means, you know I'm very, very
You're
emotional.
also from LA, if you know what that
means.
means.
I'm from, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very easy for me to, and I'm really happy when I get to express myself that way. I think about tragedies. Thank you so much.
Recently, the Miraculous Paris special came out.
Yes.
So what was it like voicing Shadybug and Ladybug in the same thing? Because they're technically the same character, but they're completely different in personality and like how you voice them. So what was that like?
I feel like in the series, Marinette's very much like the straight man. Like when something happens, it happens to Cat Noir, and I'm still like, I've always just been like Ladybug, Marinette, keeping it together. But for Shadybug, that was the first time where I got to like do something a little bit different. Well, it's very different. And it was really cool to have that side of her personality. And I just loved that character in general. And I like that she wasn't just like this evil being. It was just like she's been really hurt and this is how she's dealing with it. And she has a goal and she's just trying her best like everybody else, you know? Mm-hmm. So it was really awesome to get to do that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How do you relate to like Marinette and Ladybug? Like,
She's clumsy.
I'm very clumsy. I have so many bruises.
She does.
I do.
I've counted them.
I'm always knocking into things. I'm always like dropping stuff.
Mostly me.
I think what I like most about Ladybug though is like they let her make mistakes, you know, and then kind of see like, okay, how she hurt this person's feelings. How is she going to deal with that? And I really like that part about her. And I want to think that I do the same.
Sometimes.
So in the Miraculous Ladybug series, Marinette usually talks about having a hamster, but it always gets cut off before she says what she would name the hamster.
Yes.
Do you ever think to yourself what you would name the hamster?
Herbert. or Tapatio.
Tapatio.
The next pet I get is going to be Tapatio. So.
Cholula.
Or Cholula's cute too. No, Tapatio. No.
Raise your hand if you're more of a Tapatio. Raise your hand if you're more of a Cholula. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Cristina Vee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the Miraculous series actually over, or will there be a season 6?
Oh, they're working on a season 6. It's taken a little longer because they're redoing all the assets. So it's going to look different. Furthermore, I got to see the new design for Marinette. So look forward to it. But it's going to be, I heard it's going to be a little while because they are redoing everything, you know, all the character designs, all the background. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Gosh, I don't know what we're going to have to hang on to, but it's going to be a while.
Bennett is a character that I relate to very deeply. He is someone that I see myself in a lot in the way that he kind of has bad luck, is a little clumsy, but tries to keep a positive outlook. And he/you are the reason I got into cosplay in the first place.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Years ago. And I just want to ask you if you had any like favorite memories from getting to voice that character.
So Genshin was the first game I worked on during the so it was very interesting because I didn't have a booth. Nobody had booths, you know, so I had to like scramble to put everything together. But it was the first time I realized like, oh, I'm going to be okay. Like voice acting is going to continue throughout, you know. And also it's been really cool to see the game blow up the way it has. None of us expected it, you know. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's really fun to meet everybody at conventions and to see all the cosplay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys don't know how many times I heard that through our shared wall when we were roommates during
Really?
Yeah.
I said that a lot.
I just said a lot of things a lot.
Why did I say Benny's Adventure Team Assemble?
Was it that, or was it, what else were you recording during?
I was recording a lot of like animal sounds.
That's what it was. It was terrifying. It's like a slaughterhouse on the other side.
There was like a time where I was like a chicken, and it was like a kung fu chicken going like.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
Oh Jesus!
How did it feel to play like a character that's like very complex and very like longing, like Homura?
Okay. That was harder for me because I was a younger actor, and that was when I was still like, I need to prepare. I think I overthought it a lot. I'll be honest. But I had a great director, Alex Juan David, and he really took the time to pull the performances out of us, you know, because we were all like still kids when we recorded that show. And again, that's another character where it's like you get to see like the whole character arc, and it's so satisfying as an actor. I got really lucky, and I'm really hoping that they bring us back for the third. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
but you never know.
Me and my sister started watching Danganronpa, the animation, and I was so surprised to find out that you were the voice actor of Monaka.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, or ask, how was it to voice act her and be in that like community, you know, Danganronpa and stuff?
Remember when I was talking about like being completely in character and just doing, you know, this is not the case for Monaka, because I heard like Danganronpa was dark. And so I got cast as Monaka, and I was really excited, and I'm still excited. I love being in the series. But some of the things she does is they're so evil. We'd be like, oh, what just happened? Oh my God. I would tell them, I was living with Erica Mendez at the time. I'm like, I'm so sorry for what my character did to you. That was not cool. That was not okay. That's one of the characters where it's like, all right, that character is crazy. But it was so much fun.
Awesome.
still fun. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's like, what was it like playing like Gwyn and like just being on Beyblade?
Yeah, Gwyn was like a combination of like Killua. Yeah, he was very Killua-like actually. Had the hair and everything. But we were making jokes the whole time that he looked like Elsa.
Yeah, that's like a big joke in the fandom.
Yeah, because instead of like let it go, I'd say let it rip. I'd say let it go, and I don't know. It was funny to us. Yeah, that was another show. So it's all kind of a blur, but I was really excited that I got cast as that character because I think he was like super cool, and he was not screaming the whole time because I hear like they scream a lot in that show.
Yeah, so it was like you were one of the calmer characters. I actually liked that.
Yay!
Yeah, it was.
How was it while filming Sailor Moon as Sailor Mars?
Oh my gosh, I was so nervous because I also grew up watching Sailor Moon in the 90s. And it was kind of like the surreal experience. I still don't really let myself think about it too hard because, I grew up as a kid watching Sailor Moon's what made me want to be a voice actor. So to be in it and to like redo the 90s version was, it's so crazy to me that I got to do that.
What's it like playing as Darkness from Konosuba, and how do you get into that character first?
I think I've just been doing it for such a long time that I don't really like prepare mentally or anything. It's just like, okay, I'm going into the booth and I'm able to like switch it on and off like very simply, it doesn't really feel like anything for Cristina. It's just, I'm in the booth and I'm in the moment with the character. And then when we're done, it's like, oh, I'm back to being Cristina again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she's so much fun. I will say on that show, we laugh so hard. I love getting to play characters where I could just go completely nuts. And she's definitely one of those few.
Does it ever get a little embarrassing voicing some of her crazy moments?
No, it doesn't because I've been working with that studio for a very long time. So we're all comfortable. Like they would never make me do anything if I felt like it was weird, And there have definitely been roles where I have been like, hey, this is too much for me. But never Konosuba because it's fun and it's silly and it's definitely it's parody,
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
I will say, as someone who has sat in on your sessions multiple times, it's a lot like witnessing a possession.
Yeah.
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 So my question is about Tales of Berseria.
Yes.
One of the running themes in the game is about the loss of innocence, and the character you play, Velvet, no spoilers because this is in the prologue, all in one day, her entire village is slaughtered. Her younger brother is murdered. She finds out that her older brother-in-law has been manipulating and deceiving her the entire time. She contracts demon blight and she gets her arm cut off, then locked in a prison for 3 years.
Yeah.
So after that, she's never quite the same and her voice is kind of monotone but also has this edge to it. I was wondering, where did you get the inspiration for that trauma, that darkness? Because I think everyone has a particular day where like the whole world changes.
Like everybody, I've had my share of struggles and challenges and things happen, and I think that's the great part about, what drew me to acting is like I have so much to share and so much to tell. So I think that's why I gravitate towards roles like that when I get cast as those kinds of roles, because I do have, obviously not as dramatic as that, but I do have my experiences that I draw on. So it's all like the emotion is all real, and it really comes. That's another thing about like the whole like being in your 20s and achieving everything, because to be an actor, you need to live your life first, and I feel like the more years that pass, like the more experiences I get, the better actor I get to become. And that's how we just draw on all those experiences, I'm trying to be as vague as possible.
I just love the whole character arc of Velvet because she goes into this like maniacal rage and starts using people as objects. And eventually, as the series goes, or as the game goes on, she wisens up and retains some of her original demeanor, not quite the same, but eventually as she pushes people away, they try to pull her back in, and it causes her to become a better person and to not be so malicious.
Yeah, I love that game. I love the character arc. Like it goes like to both extremes really fast. It's great.
Thank you.
I remember when you were recording that.
Yeah.
And we would hang out and you would just have like this smoker's voice.
Oh yeah, I had no voice that entire time.
Awesome.
About your role as Lachesis in Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yes.
I have been wanting Genealogy of the Holy War to be remade for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider coming back to Fire Emblem to play Princess Lachesis again?
I would love to. My fingers are crossed too that they remake her game because she seems really cool.
Yeah.
What character do you like playing most? Shantae, Sailor Mars, which is Ray, Ladybug, or Zoshi from Victor and Valentina?
See, Sailor Mars, I grew up with Sailor Moon. That's what got me into voice acting, so that was cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised Stephanie's not here. I mean, there should have been a Sailor Moon panel.
I think Stephanie left yesterday, actually.
Yeah,
we did. They put me on the Genshin Impact panel, but it would have been so much fun to do with Stephanie. I haven't been on a panel with her in years. But they're my favorite for different reasons. Like Ladybug, it's been incredible. I think it's my biggest project. But Victor and Valentino was my first recurring role on a Cartoon Network show, which rest in peace, Cartoon Network. So that was really cool as well.
They should bring that back in a TV movie.
I would love that.
Me too.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they should bring a reboot.
Yeah.
Was there a time that you kind of went off script or improv'd and the directors decided it would be a better fit than what they kind of planned for?
Yeah. Recently, the most recent one was Fire Emblem Heroes. I play this woman who's this really sexy lady, but she turns into a big goat for some reason. So they're like, can you give us attack sounds? Ha, yeah, ta. And I just went, nah. And they kept it.
That is incredible.
It's in the game now.
I'm going to have to play that. I need to hear it.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could speak to your younger self when you first began taking voice acting roles, what industry advice would you give to yourself?
One, it takes time. I feel like there's so much pressure in our culture to do everything in your 20s for some reason, even though everyone's just growing and learning and building at that point. It's so crazy to me, that weird expectation that everybody feels it. But for me, my 20s were about planting these seeds, and now in my 30s, I'm reaping the benefits of it. And it feels like the right timing. It doesn't feel late. It feels like this is exactly how it's supposed to happen. So I'd be like, hey, chill out. You don't have to. Just because you are not where you're at right now doesn't mean you won't get there. Your 20s are for growing. Even your 30s are for growing, So I'd be like, it's going to be okay. But also, I received some advice that I shouldn't sing when I was a very young voice actor from somebody who thought they were well-meaning. They're like, don't do that. You might seem like a fan. Yeah, I know. Thinking back now, I'm like, oh my gosh. But it took me a long time to realize, that was not the advice I should have followed. I should have followed my heart always. And I did get back into it. And
I'm glad you did. I think
thank
most
you.
people are.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it was well-meaning advice, but it was not the right advice. Just not to listen to anybody else and just to do what feels right to you. And that's what's going to lead you to where you want to be.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What has been your experience as a voice actress with the changes and the dramatic uproar of the exposure of the anime scene and video game scene throughout the last few years?
Work-wise, not much has changed on the work-wise end. I'm still auditioning the same. Obviously, allowed us now to record. I do a lot of recording from home now, which was unheard of. If you told me that in 2012, I would have been like, what? How? But the biggest change has been the convention scene for me. And it has been really life-changing. It really did change my life. And it's thanks to everybody's support. It's crazy. And I feel like a lot of on-camera actors, and this, I've heard this from conventions, but it used to be people came to cons for on-camera actors, but it really flipped. People are coming to see the voiceover actors. So, and it's crazy because roles like Killua that I recorded, I started recording that maybe 5 years ago, are now, I was saying, it was planting seeds this whole time, and now I'm really seeing the people coming out and hearing the feedback. So yeah, it's been really wild and crazy and completely unexpected. It's honestly a bonus because, like I said, the work has still been I'm still working as hard as I can as I have been all these years, but. The audience has definitely grown. Yeah.
It's gotten so much bigger, seriously.
It's gotten so much bigger, it's insane.
What character that you play do you feel you are most similar to or have the deepest connection to?
Hawk.
It's weird. Oddly enough, Marinette, but also there's a lot of Verosica that I can relate to. I think we kind of hit on that earlier, but there's obviously I'm not a succubus demon from hell.
She's mostly a demon from hell. The succubus part is arguable.
Yeah, there's some weird combination of those two characters is who I am.
Can someone, I'm going to make a commission to the room. Can someone please draw, never mind.
Nope.
Ignore me.
Don't do that.
Thank you.
What is your favorite clip from Chicken Nugget?
I like when they're like making snow angels. And mine is super cute, and then Ice Creams is like a biblically accurate angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How did it feel singing the song Bone Town as Rasuka made it?
Oh, Vacate to Bowtown?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Vacate to Bowtown, and I can't wait for them to release the full version one day. It's 2024 now. Sam, baby in, please.
You're working on Has Been right now?
Yeah. But I do get to say that I have worked on several other Verosika songs. I'm not sure when they're going to be released, but I know that her episode for this season is coming up. I think it's Apology Tour is her episode. So, yeah, it's cool. I was so excited that they let me sing, for sure.
I can't wait for that, and I'm pretty sure everyone else can't wait for that episode either.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
So you've voiced the whole gauntlet of different types of characters, from innocent little good boy Bird to Lynn to Edgelord Velvet, and characters for kids such as Marinette and adults such as Verosika. Which is your favorite type of character to play?
It's hard to choose one.
Animals.
Animals?
You do animal voices
I
all
get a
the
lot.
time.
That's just where I'm at in my career right now.
Not even when you're casting. You'll like get out of the shower and you'll be like, "Wee, wee, wee, wee."
That's true. Like that. My favorite kind of roles. This is gonna sound really weird, but when the ones with the big audience. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're performers and we're actors and we want it to be seen, but to do something is like going to be in the public eye, it's really fulfilling because I think that's what we're all in it for, is to be part of people's lives,
She likes the characters that have a lot of death knells, a lot of
like
crying, a lot of crying.
A lot of crying in my character.
A lot of crying. That way she could actually make it productive for once.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah.
The more trauma, the better.
Yep. Let's place that energy somewhere.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yay!
That is like the one line.
Wow, Christina, that was a wonderful panel. Thank you so much for letting me guest moderate. Everyone say goodbye, Christina.
Thank you, guys.